It's time for What Drives Reno, presented by the National Automobile Museum in downtown Reno. Here's your host, Phil MacDougall.
Welcome, Reno. This is your host, Phil MacDougall, on What Drives Reno. And I'm excited because I'm with you along with the brains behind the operations, Terry.
Thanks. It's all muscle memory. There's no brains involved.
No, you got about 1 million buttons over here. I've only seen you hit 2, but I know they all do some really cool stuff.
I push them all when you leave. No,
you do. Yeah, you pushed me out. Now, actually, we're going to do something a little different before we get into the show. And this show is made possible from, why? Who?
The National Automobile Museum.
National Automobile Museum. And it is a mouthful. Try and say that fast. People are listening. Try and say National Automobile Museum fast.
I can't.
You can't. You just
National
did,
Automobile Museum. National Automobile Museum.
So we're going to take a second here to reflect on we just kind of figured out, it's our 9-month anniversary.
Yeah, it's 9 months.
And I got
August.
nothing. I got nothing from you.
Well, you haven't got anything from me either.
No, I said I got nothing from you.
Oh, nothing.
I like how you did it. Turned it around right away.
Hey, I've been married a while.
We've done a lot. We have some great guests on.
I will say the guest lists on your show always just floors me because you get some great guests, some people I've never heard of who have incredible stories, such as the gentleman from Kimmy Candy Company.
Joe Dutra.
Such a great story. Ann Silver is a great story. So
Grace, everyone that's been on this show, I love learning more because this show is about what drives Reno.
It is.
We're interviewing people who have community leaders, nonprofit organizations, big companies, small companies, elected officials, people that are helping move the needle forward, and they just do an amazing job. But the part that makes me smile every single time, no exaggeration, is when I ask them what their first car is, or they talk to me about their journey to where they got today.
Yeah.
Like Joe, I mean, I'm making this up, but she's like the 007, the original Born Identity man. He's like CIA, or he's around the world, Dubai. He's doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Then you meet people who have had like 50 million different career changes, and every one of them, they've been so successful.
Yeah, anything they have the Midas touch, if you will.
They do, and they're so humble.
Yeah.
The part that just makes me smile is that off the air, I said, "Well, how come you didn't bring some of that stuff up?" They don't want to come off as bragging, and I go, "Well, it's not bragging. You did
not
some
bragging if it's true."
And the things that you've done here in the region, but you mean not just the region. You've done things all over. So I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity. 9-month anniversary. I'm expecting something. I don't know what you got for me next time.
I'll get you Wendy's gift card. How's that?
Well, how do you know? Yeah, I was just joking. I said I had 5 minutes to get here, and I said I had to make a choice. Do I go get a Wendy's and a drink, or do I try and make it on time? I did both.
You did both. You made it on time. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the world of radio.
Yes,
you just figured it out.
I did it. I did it well. All right, so we're going to take a break in a second, but our first guest is going to be Derek Beauvais. He is the CEO of Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and they do big things. We'll be right back. Welcome back to What Drives Reno. I'm your host, Phil MacDougall, and this show is made possible from the National Automobile Museum. Our first guest today is Derek Beauvais. He is the CEO. Did I say that correct?
Yes.
He is the CEO of Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
We always start off the show with the question of what was your first car, and if there's a story you like to share. The 1.6 billion listeners we have are all they're riveted on the end of their seats.
1 to 1.6.
Yes, thank you for clarifying that.
I knew that this question was coming, and it's an embarrassing answer. I had
no, just so you know, maybe it is, but we've had some doozies.
Yeah, I had a 1996 Suzuki Esteem, which is an ironic name because it does not give you any self-esteem driving that car, but I got my license and got my car right when Fast and the Furious started coming out.
Oh, perfect.
So me and all my friends thought that we were Vin Diesel and Paul Walker.
And you had nitrous and everything.
Yeah, so we were putting black lights in our cars and cutting the springs and lowering them and putting rims on it and cold air intakes. And it was loud and it was ugly and it was embarrassing, but it got me around.
Okay. Not even in the same range as some of the other people, including
Have you ever had to hotwire your own car?
Never had to hotwire my own car, but it was the way the ignition worked was you could stick any key in and it would start. Right. It didn't matter which key, as long as you had a key, it would fire up.
The reason he said that, we had a guest last week, and it just cracked me up. she was so funny. Ashley
great.
Durkee from the assistant city manager, and she just told the story, and she just says, "Well, I know how to hot wire a car. I had a hot wire." I'm going, "Wow, thank you for sharing. That was great." She gave it. I mean, she is so knowledgeable. Yeah. But this is about you. Yeah. So let's go back into it. So before, I don't usually do this, but you just mentioned the Fast and Furious. I just got off the phone. We're going to be having the Fast and Furious cars come back in July, the ones from the movie. So
I don't think they'll be bringing a Suzuki Esteem.
No. You can try. Yeah, probably not. Good point. But you can bring some photos and sit in one of his cars. What's the famous line he says? It's about family.
It's family.
It's family or something like that. All right. Enough of me rambling. Let me know. Tell me about you. How did you get to the organization? Then we're going to get into some of the meat.
Yeah. So. My upbringing is very similar to the kids that we serve. I grew up in a household that struggled with drug and alcohol abuse, had violence in the household, living in poverty. I remember picking up food boxes with my mom from the church, those kinds of things. And later into life, into high school, I became a Boys and Girls Club kid. And so I was going to the club, and then that became my first out of college. I was working for Boys and Girls Club. I spent 14 years, held every position that Boys and Girls Club in Bend, Oregon had.
I'm from Bend, Oregon originally.
Oh, wonderful.
Not even joking.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Bend and ran that club for, like I said, 14 years. And I felt I had taken that organization as far as I could. And so started looking at what other opportunities exist, and got the opportunity to come here for Big Brothers Big Sisters, and joined the agency just over 8 years ago, and have really helped create a sustainable foundation for that organization. I earned a reputation as kind of a financial turnaround specialist when I was with Boys and Girls Club, and they started farming me out around the country, helping other agencies reestablish themselves. And so when I came here, there was some financial struggles with the agency, and we've really worked hard over the last 8 years to turn that around.
Well, if you do any side jobs, the MacDougall family could sure use some straighten out financially. No, I really mean this. I've had a lot of guests in the 9 months we've done this show. Very few have come in with the high regards. I mean, all of them really respected. But the common theme with you is you've really turned this around. You're an amazing person. I truly don't say that very lightly. I'm extremely grateful to have you on the show, but you've made such a difference. And a lot of times when I say that to a handful of people, they look surprised. And they don't realize all their hard work is paid off, and all these people recognize it. So this shows about what drives Reno, what's making a change, who's making a change, and you truly are right at the top of the list. So we've only met like once, I think, before, but I am extremely grateful for what you do. And for those people who I can't believe don't know, actually I will say it. So people don't know when the light comes on, it says yellow, you're supposed to slow down, right? They don't know what that means. People know certain things, have heard the word, but I believe they think, oh, those names like Big Brothers and Big Sisters, oh, they have so much money. It's a very recognizable name. Yep. They don't know the real situation. So can you just share what does your organization do in a little bit more detail than usual? And then we're going to talk about what we can do to help you.
Yeah. And like you said, Big Brothers Big Sisters, it's a recognizable national brand because it's been around for more than 120 years across the country with 240 local chapters. We're one of 240, right? And I think a lot of people see the national brand and make that assumption as like, oh, they probably have a lot of money, a lot of support, a lot of resources. You'll see us, we have great national partnerships with the NFL and Major League Baseball and the NBA. And, like LeBron James's all-star team picked Big Brothers Big Sisters as their charity, and they raised $1 million. Well, the national office doesn't take that $1 million, divide it by 240 and send checks out, right? Like the national office doesn't actually serve youth. They serve agencies. So the local agencies are the only ones that serve kids. And so we are a completely local and independent 501c3. So local board, local dollars raised, and all dollars stay within our community.
That's really important to me, is that the money actually stays here.
Yep. Yeah. And so that's our number one focus, right, is like, how are we serving the youth of Northern Nevada? And for us, really, it's about creating a sustainable foundation and sustainable program that we can continue to grow on. And, we've seen a lot in the economy right now. A lot of federal funding has been cut. We've been affected by that. We've lost over $360,000 over the last 18 months of federal funding. And what we don't want is we don't want to have to reduce our programs or reduce our staff. So we really do rely on the community to support us and to step in those moments to fill those gaps, right? And we're not alone in that, but we've been really blessed in the reputation that we've earned, how we've built this program, that we've seen incredible support from our community and just an outpouring from our donors, from our community partners to really help us bridge this gap during this time.
So not to put you on the spot, but give us some generic stats, like whatever numbers pop out, like how many you serve, or I like when people know that the volume and the significance, even if it's one person you serve.
Yeah, so we serve about 300 families on an annual basis. Pre-COVID, we were serving way more than that. We were serving about 500 kids, but that was when we had a school-based programming. Through COVID, our school-based programming didn't exist because we couldn't get volunteers into the schools for a long time, and so we're just reestablishing that program now. But like I said, we serve about 300 kids on an annual basis. Our cost to serve a child is about $1,200 a year, and we have about 150 kids on the wait list right now.
Wow. So define serve for people who are listening, including myself, who don't know what that specifically.
So Big Brothers Big Sisters is a one-to-one mentoring program. So if we're serving a kid, it means that child is in our program. They have a big brother or a big sister, and that match together, the little brother, little sister, big brother, big sister, they have what's called a match support specialist, which is very similar to like a case manager or a caseworker that supports them and supports their family. And so we want to make sure that not only does that little brother or little sister have a mentor in their life, but that family has a resource through our organization that we can support, because we want our bigs to focus on their littles, and then we focus on the family. So if the family is running into barriers, if they're being evicted, if their electricity's cut off, if they need access to food, if they need access to counseling services, we're making those referrals, we're providing those resources.
I did not know. Did you know that there's that level of service across the realm? I thought it was maybe more the educational, the mentoring part. Mm-hmm. I did not read it. What sounds like is one-stop shopping. Any or most challenges they're experiencing, they have someone, is it an overstretch, to contact to help them? For directions, for
that's what
counseling.
we're here. That's what we're here for, right? Is that additional support. So our bigs are spending time with their littles 4 to 6 hours a month, right? And those moments really support the little and give them opportunity and access that they don't already have. But what we also see is, those littles then are going back to their home, right? After they spend that time with their bigs, and if they're going back to a home environment where they don't have food, or the electricity's not on, or their housing is unstable, we know we need to provide that additional support so that little has the best opportunity to be successful when they go to school, when they're looking to plan for their future. Our big is going to help them along the way, but our organization is going to support their family. Yeah. And we know it's so hard to ask people for help, right? Yeah. Like everybody struggles with that no matter where you're at. And the way the systems are set up is if you need help, you have to go ask 10, 20, 30 people for help, right? Yeah. You have to go to this resource for housing, this resource for my electricity.
And then weed your way through the process, because you're never going to get the call right the first time, or the right person.
Right. And every process is different.
Yep.
It's so frustrating.
So what we like is that they can make one call to Big Brothers Big Sisters. They're match support specialists that they've built a relationship with. Many of our families, we have some families that aren't English speaking, or English isn't their first language. So our staff are bilingual, so they can help support those things. So sometimes we're providing translating services, but we have contacts at all these resources, and we know the processes, so we can help guide them so that it doesn't feel scary.
Great. So is there, if you got the 1 to 1, that's the 1 to 1.5 billion. I have to throw the 1 because it's probably maybe closer to 2 listening. So when we do that, what is the one thing you want to convey to them, or your top 3 needs, misconceptions? This is your time to say, guys, we're looking for this. We need people, volunteers, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. What is it?
We need volunteers, right? We need bigs, and specifically we need men. So we have a wait list, like I said, of about 150 kids at any given time. A large percentage of that wait list, about 72%, is little boys waiting for a big brother, right?
What age are we looking at? All ages?
We serve ages 6 to 18. A typical kid in our program is going to be between the ages of 9 and 11. But we are looking for men. We need more big brothers in our community in this program. So many of our littles, they're being raised by single moms or grandma or an aunt. So these are little boys growing up without a male role model, right? And so they're waiting on this wait list looking for a big brother. And right now our average wait for a little boy is over 450 days. So they're waiting longer than a year for a big brother. And you can imagine what that feels like as a little guy, right? Like you're sitting at home thinking, well, why doesn't somebody want to be my big?
It's a very rewarding. I've had an opportunity in past up in Oregon, actually. I was part of Big Brothers Big Sisters, but I know somebody here locally who was a big in a child's life from about 6th grade. They graduated. They're still in each other's lives. Yep. He was in a wedding. He was in the wedding with them. I mean, he has a key to the house, literally.
Yep. Yeah.
And so it's such a rewarding program, and it's very, very neat. And this kid was a troubled kid and is graduated school and owned his own business.
Yeah.
So people listening that might be interested in doing this, can you get a little deeper in terms of what the commitment level is? Because I'm sure people are going, well, I don't know if I can do all that, or it's much more feasible for me to do it. So share some of those. Yeah.
So our motto is it takes little to be big, because it literally is a small commitment in terms of time. So we're asking for 4 to 6 hours a month. So it means you're hanging out with your little maybe an hour a week, or maybe a couple hours every other week, right? And the whole piece of it is like, we're not asking you to change who you are to be a big. The whole idea is that we are exposing our kids to different lifestyles, right? To understand that the life that is lived within their 4 walls of their house isn't where the world starts or ends, right? Yeah. And so we want them to have more access and opportunity. So mentoring is normal. Like we all have it and experience it in our lives. What we're doing is we're taking these families or these kids that maybe don't have those natural mentors built into their life, and we're injecting that into their life, right? So like I'm a big brother. I hang out with my little a couple times a month. Life is busy, right? Yeah. There's been times where like I just take him to Costco with me. Like I'm out shopping for the business. We needed stuff to like build up our snack closet for our families so I just took him with me, right? So we went to Costco, right? We had math lessons. I'm talking to him about like price per unit. We're doing math together. We're talking about healthy food choices. We did have a hot dog.
Of course,
you gotta have a hot dog at Costco. But right. And then he talked about his experience afterwards was like, that was the first time I ever had fun at a grocery store, right? Because he goes with his mom. There's 5 siblings in the family. It's stressful. Yep. Everybody's getting told no. He's got, 3 siblings under the age of 3. They're all over the place, right? It's like, okay, like how, he never had that experience before, right? He didn't even know Costco was a thing.
So for people who are listening, it's really hard to some people to imagine what that is, because most people don't have that type of experience, or a lot of people don't.
Right.
And we take it for granted. And if you're talking about little ones, boys and girls, man, you don't know what an influence you can make on someone with a very little bit amount of time put into it. So I commend you and your organization for everything you're doing. For people who want to get involved, where do they go? What's the best way?
Just go to our website. There's a link at the top that says Become a Big. You're going to click on that, and that website's bbbsnn.org. Just Google us, search us. You can click Be a Big. You'll fill out a small inquiry, and then within 48 hours, one of my staff will reach out to you and get you started on the process.
Perfect. Derek, thank you so much for coming on the show. Love everything you're doing, and I encourage people to get more involved, learn more, and we'll talk to you soon. We're going to take a quick break, everybody.
We'll be back with more What Drives Reno on 1060 AM KFOY, Radio for America.
Looking for a venue for your next event? The National Automobile Museum can host any event in a variety of venues to choose from. Have an awards ceremony in the 157-seat theater, or select one of several themed galleries for a business luncheon or banquet. Guests will love the 16,000 square foot Riverside Pavilion, complete with outdoor bar, heaters, and fire pits. Everything you need, including chairs, linens, staging, and AV equipment, are also available. Go to automuseum.org for details.
I'm having my birthday at the National Automobile Museum. They have this cool birthday zone with Mater and Lightning McQueen. And their brand new Children's Activity Center has fun games like Junior Engineering Studio, Lego Building, an interactive car wash, and a lot more too. They even have a theater where we can watch a movie or play Mario Kart. I even get my own birthday t-shirt.
Book your child's ultimate birthday party today at the National Automobile Museum. Visit automuseum.org/events.
We're back with more What Drives Reno, presented by the National Automobile Museum in downtown Reno. And now here's your host, Phil MacDougall.
Welcome back, Reno. This is your host, Phil MacDougall, and this show is called What Drives Reno, and it's presented by the National Automobile Museum. Automobile Museum. Automobile Museum. Say that. What did I say? Say that fast 3
You
times.
said 3, and I did, but you never acknowledged it.
But
so
you
it's
told
okay.
me you're going to have like a little echo, so it
Oh, yeah,
sounds
that's
much more impressive, like a National Automobile Museum. So if you haven't been there, we were voted top 5 automobile museums in the entire country by USA Today and TripAdvisor. We have 250 cars. Ask me how many events we had last year out of 365 days.
How many events did you have out of 365 days?
Funny you should ask that. Over 250 events. So we're a full event center, private theater. We have 4 galleries, 250 cars. We're building a new exhibit. We have a summer concert series, speaker series. So we do it all. So I want to remind everyone to come on down and learn more about the National Automobile Museum. And we want to take a break here now and just get right into the meat of it. For those, we have a drum roll. We need some more special
I know.
effects.
We need more. We need a budget. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
We,
All right, that thing
kidding.
always,
That was a joke.
always
That was a
gets
joke.
in the way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite you to learn and meet and experience Mr. Jeramie Lu Photography. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, buddy. Do I stand too, or do you just like standing?
I like standing because
Overlooking at me, just like
it's kind of like
Yeah.
you know, what's that the thing I want to try and
overlording.
overlording.
Yeah, I mean it works. Yeah, here,
You know, the biggest
I'm
thing
like,
is people laugh because I can't sit still.
yeah.
I have to switch and turn, and you think I'd be much skinnier.
I like it. Well,
It doesn't help.
They build it for it. Also, you have a photography studio.
That's
In the museum.
This whole thing is about you.
I'm just letting you know there is
yes.
a photography studio. I mean, it's only appointment only. Don't just show up, but it's there.
That's what we're talking about. So that whole intro I did with all the cool things, that's just the low-hanging fruit. We're here to talk about you
Appreciate
with
it.
the studio and everything. So before we get started into the in-depth, all the tell-all stories you're going to tell us today about Jeramie Lu, tell me what your first car was, and is there a story behind it?
So I had my aunt's 1989 maroon red Honda Accord. Got it when I was 15. Definitely drove it around in the middle of the night a lot before I got my license. And
Before you got your license.
yeah,
Everybody notice that?
It's fine. Come at me. Before I got my license, drove it around all the time. Pretty much taught myself how to drive. It had one of those seat belts that, like, when you went in, it closed on itself. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
when you know, I'm talking
One of the
about-
automatic ones.
Yeah, I
Yep.
feel like they should bring. That was super safe, right?
Yeah,
They should
you
bring that back.
even got an auto discount insurance if you had them.
Oh,
like
I'm sure,
$10 a month or something like that. That's what I got in mine.
We drove it out to Pyramid Lake when I got my license, and then it died on the lake. So then I got a Honda Civic Si. But yeah, that was my first car.
Any other interesting stories you
No,
can share?
I was-
Because we're not going to tell
I was
anybody.
15 and a half. That was it. 15 and a half. Got my car. Dad bought it. And then I had it for maybe 6 months to a year, and then bought a stick shift car and didn't realize that I was driving with my e-brake on for the first 2 days. And I was like, this is the slowest car I've ever had in my life. It was a Honda Civic Si, electric blue. And when I realized that the brake was up the whole time, then yeah, super fast.
Yeah, most people though, I think it's maybe 2 years was like the average before they either had the car
Yeah,
taken,
something like that.
lost it, died, fell apart.
Yeah.
Mom and dad took it away for life, kind of thing.
No, it was a good car, but yeah, I was glad to be done with it.
So Jeramie, you've done so much in the community. I want to get into at least a couple different things. But first of all, for people who don't know, and shame on them for not knowing what you do, explain what you do, and let's take it from there. This is your moment.
I'm a wedding, commercial, and portrait photographer. So depending on how you know me in the community,
You're the.
Well, thank you. But depending on how you know me within the industry or within the area, you'll only know me on really one aspect. Because I'll shoot a commercial thing and somebody goes, "Oh, you do weddings?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do 40 weddings. I've done over 1,000 weddings in my career."
Wow.
I do 20 in the area, and then I travel all over the world and I do 20 more somewhere else. But on the commercial side, I shoot for theoretically all the hospitals. You've seen billboards of my work. You've seen all that stuff around. You just don't know it's mine. Ultimately, what I like, and then I shoot families. I shoot people. We can coin that and make a t-shirt out of it if you want it. But my biggest thing is being able to tell a story through photographs. That's what I want to do, which is why I like the commercial work. If a company comes up to me and says, we want to sell this product, we want to do this, I will have ideas on how to sell it in the commercial world, and whether they go with me or not on that, it's a whole thing, you know.
Yeah, but you provide so much more. And I've seen you work. That's why the museum is
Thank you,
partnering with you. You do a great job. I'll just give you the example. I've had things that are I'll call them passport photos. And I've had pictures that people put a little thought into and creative, and the lighting and everything is so much, it's so important in it. You just, anyone can get a passport photo.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you do everything. And actually, you probably do. Your headshots, you do everything,
Yeah.
right?
Photo means light. So I became a photographer for the nerdy side, the gear part of it. I definitely care a lot about the stuff that I use and what it does. And I partner with a lot of companies. I'm an ambassador for a few companies. And ultimately, it's like, yeah, I understand we live in this world where we have an iPhone. Everybody has a camera. My industry, you really just need a business license if anybody's even checking that. But you can just get a camera and start taking pictures of anything and everything right now, right? It's the industry of, hey, I will not pay you for this, but I will tell people about you. Is that enough? And you're like, the exposure bucks, I can't eat off of that. But at the beginning, yeah,
I tried
exposure
that.
bucks.
I probably tried that with you.
I don't care if anybody can try. And depending on the company, depending on who they are, I am happy to do it if I believe in them.
Right.
But I also want it to be my decision to offer that to them.
Yeah.
But if somebody comes up to me and says, hey, we have this 8-hour wedding or 8-hour event, and you want to come shoot it for me.
Great exposure.
And, we'll put your name on the sliding show up top. And I'm like, oh, that's,
right next to Aunt Millie.
We'll give you a
and
plate
Uncle
of
Pearl.
food.
That's what it is, right? And food.
Isn't that worth something?
It's one of those things where like I don't mind it, and I started that way, but I'm at a point in my career now where I'm like, if it's a value to me, if I believe in what you're doing, then I will do it for you. But I'd rather do it for free than for $50.
You're at a point in your career where you can actually pick and choose what you want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you can't when you start off. You have to take everything.
Right. Or I can send my team.
Yeah.
So now I have a team where I can be like, you know what, I can't do it, but I have 3 people that will do it for you. I'll pay them, something. Yeah. And then a plate of food or something, and then they go for there.
Let me just give you a little plug here, because I can tell you, for everyone who's planned a birthday party, planned a celebration of life, had a wedding, anything at all that's really important to you, there's certain things that can go wrong. And let's just be honest, sometimes you go to something and maybe the food isn't your cup of tea. Maybe the parking was a little further away.
Yeah.
But if you have a once-in-a-lifetime experience, a wedding, anything that's a special moment, you cannot recapture that.
No.
I did a show once, and it's just completely unrelated, but we did this whole show. I had a guy that was called in from Australia. He was like a famous race car driver. We did the whole show, and it was not here, just for the record. It was somebody else. And at the very end, after we're done, we thank him, we hang up, and he goes, "Oh, I forgot to hit record. We got to do it again."
Are we recording this?
We are.
As a reminder.
That was my subliminal note.
Yeah, I did think, am I recording? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm recording.
That was my little hint, because I didn't see you hit the button. No, but my point is, you cannot emphasize the importance of getting it right.
Yeah. Right.
And that's the other thing. The only thing, I'll throw one more thing in there.
Yeah.
If you have a band that doesn't show up on time, that shows up late, doesn't perform, you can deal with those things. But these are moments in time that you're capturing that you can't say, oh, I encourage people, don't go with the blue light special.
Yeah.
Because you get what
you
you deserve
pay
when
for.
you do that. So,
100%.
sorry. With that intro, I just want to remind people, and the reason you're doing it is because we did 250 events at the museum last year. You did a lot of that stuff for us, you and your team. I can't recapture that. People who are listening, you can't take a chance. You got to explain to your boss why the photographer didn't show up, or you only got pictures of the vases.
Yeah,
that's not going to work.
It's a dark environment to shoot to, so you have to know lighting and all that stuff. It's the museum's beautiful, but yeah, it is a difficult place to shoot, and if somebody just to come in.
For amateurs out there, how important is lighting?
I think I said at the beginning of this, the word photo means light. Yeah. And if you bring a camera and you think that's all you need in general, like we have flashes, we have strobes, we have LEDs, we have all this stuff that we need to utilize. And also the more expensive cameras, I can pump that ISO up, it's internal thing, and then use a light that I have around. But if the light that I have around is not good, or if it's cheap, LEDs or whatever,
fluorescent,
something, then it's struggle bus. And then how do I explain that to a client?
Yeah.
You don't.
No. Well, we experienced that. You educated us at the museum.
Yeah.
It was built 35 years ago, and we think we're doing all these things, but for the naked eye, okay, great. You come in and say, Phil, you got like 3 different versions of lights up
colors,
there,
3
and
different
the flickering and whatever else is happening there. That's your issue, but you plan around that. So I know you do a lot of things for the community as well. I mean, this is about what drives Reno. People are making a difference. These are influencing our community in a positive way. Is there any particular organization you would like to give a little plug to that you work with, or you want to?
I work with a ton. No, I can't. If I had to pick one, somebody would get mad at me. Yeah. I shoot for a lot of nonprofits, enough where I'm the nonprofit photographer. I have a nonprofit rate. In fact, I mean, I literally just left doing something for Nevada Business Magazine. I did a 2-dayer for them. And what I had to hear in these meetings was like amazing. I know nothing about it. I can't say anything, but super cool. No, so here's my thing. Here's my thing for event people in the world, because I will get an email back. I will get a call. I will meet somebody at a BNI group or something, and they said, we should have had a photographer for this event. We did have a photographer, but it was just somebody's kid with their camera, and it didn't turn out. And the thing for me is, like, when you're making so much money as a nonprofit for your fundraising and for that, the money that comes in. I mean, the school my kids go to just, announced that they made like $110,000, and I photographed that event for them. And it's not even about the money to pay the photographer, but it's putting the value out there for the photography to use for next year. Yep. Because our stuff is your promotion. And if you're not investing into your own promotion, why would somebody come to your event and donate anything to you if they don't see where that money's going? Yeah. And so it's a crazy thing for me. So that's kind of my thing to the community. I shoot events 3 or 4 times a week, somewhere around town. We'll be at the Renaissance today doing something with them. So yeah, I mean, it's just,
I'll be at the Renaissance today too.
Are you going?
Yeah.
It's free appetizers.
Yeah, that's good. You kind of just touched on something that I don't want to just gloss over really quickly, is that I have a lot of people, and I got to admit, I was in that camp for a long time too. I said, well, I don't really need a photographer for this event, or I don't need it for here, because, that's small, get pull shots. But you know what came back, especially when you join an organization that didn't put a lot of emphasis into marketing for whatever reason, and then they come back and say, okay, now, I want you, in case of the museum, I want you to explain to the world the different type of events you put on and who comes into your museum and this and that. I go, 5 years ago, we didn't have that. I couldn't show them. I'm a visual person. Now we capture everything, because you're going to need all that stuff to show people, and you don't want to show them the photo, the passport photo. You want to have a collection, because you want to pull from that. You never know when you're going to need it. So when people are doing, what's the best piece of advice you can give based on your experience to people who are listening today that may or may not think they need a photographer or...
Right. I became a photographer 18 years ago because I lost all of my childhood photos. So we had a box of childhood photos, videos. My mom passed away. My grandma sold the camcorder, and in that box was all of our memories. Gone. I became a photographer to document my kids. The only reason I'm a photographer is because I am afraid of losing those memories that go every single day. And so every event that I shoot, wedding I shoot, I just shot a funeral last week. Everything that I shoot is in the mindset that you are never going to have this memory ever again.
Yep, important.
And I have to document it. And let's just go into the world of expos and conferences and all that stuff, because you had me shoot some particular part of an expo, which you guys have rarely done. And you're like, I have nothing to show people. And so I go in and I shoot the expo. And my job was show people what this looks like now so that they can have a visualization in the future. So my only advice is, if you care about anything, any part of that aspect, if you put time or money into anything, that's what needs to be photographed.
Yep.
Simple as that.
So for people who are sitting there go, maybe I don't really need it, but if you're going to a wedding, if you have an event, if you have a big celebration of life, if you have a graduation ceremony, if you have a party, anniversary, all those things are once-in-a-lifetime memories that you can take a picture of, and if you don't do it right or you miss it, it's just a disappointment. But the most important thing, as a person who runs a business here, you need someone who is reliable and the quality is good. And I want everyone to know that and so many more other attributes I would throw on with Jeramie. He has a reputation that is strong, but I personally experienced it. The quality is amazing. He's reliable. And there's no such thing as over-communicating, but on the verge of over-communicating, which is really valuable in our world. So before we part, how can people learn more about you? Where can they go? And what do you want to share before we wrap up?
JeramieLu.com is my website. That'll link to my TikTok and Instagram, and I post every single day on social media. If you know me, you probably know me from social media. What was the other thing?
I don't know.
What do I have to plug?
I don't know. I just want you. We're just plugging you.
Just plug.
I do have
just
a question.
Plug me.
I do. No, just how do we get a hold of you? And you just gave us that.
Simple as that.
And you can go to our website. But you also, I'm going to let you do a little closer on that. You have a full studio here at the National Automobile Museum.
Yep.
So
I am a full commercial photographer, which means I have a full studio. I go on destination. I go to your location. But if you need something shot, I can do it. And I have a full team. So if I can't do it, my team can do it. And so theoretically, the goal is photography, Jeramie, photography, Jeramie.
Perfect. All right. We got 30 seconds here. I want to ask you this. If you weren't a photographer, what would you be?
Stripper.
He did not even hesitate.
Working on it right now. I mean, I'm 42. I have maybe 10 years.
Still a chance.
10 years, and now I'm just going to be ripped and stripping.
And on that note, thank you very much for being on the show. We'll be right back with our next guest.
We'll be back with more What Drives Reno on 1060 AM KFOY, Radio for America.
I'm having my birthday at the National Automobile Museum. They have this cool birthday zone with Mater and Lightning McQueen. And their brand new Children's Activity Center has fun games like Junior Engineering Studio, Lego Building, an interactive car wash, and a lot more too. They even have a theater where we can watch a movie or play Mario Kart. I even get my own birthday t-shirt.
Book your child's ultimate birthday party today at the National Automobile Museum. Visit automuseum.org/events.
Looking for a venue for your next event? The National Automobile Museum can host any event in a variety of venues to choose from. Have an awards ceremony in the 157-seat theater or select one of several themed galleries for a business luncheon or banquet. Guests will love the 16,000 square foot Riverside Pavilion, complete with outdoor bar, heaters, and fire pits. Everything you need, including chairs, linens, staging, and AV equipment, are also available. Go to automuseum.org for details.
We're back with more What Drives Reno, presented by the National Automobile Museum in downtown Reno. And now here's your host, Phil MacDougall.
Welcome back, Reno. You're on What Drives Reno, and this show is presented by the National Automobile Museum. And if you want to learn more about us and what we do, just go to automuseum.org. Okay. So we're gonna save the best for last. Don't tell Jeramie and Derek I said that. But Danell Wilson Perlman is here with us, and she's one of the owners of the Reno Tahoe Limousine Company. Did I get all that right?
Yes, Reno Tahoe Limo and Reno Tahoe Transportation.
Both of them.
Both of those under the same ownership.
So we're going to talk about all that. But first, we're going to ask you what your first car was. Okay. And I didn't tell you this when we were off the air, but you need to share with us your most personal, embarrassing story. No, I'm joking. You should see her face. She goes, no, I've had a couple of people go, got to pass on that. But sorry, everybody. I like to tease a little bit.
That was perfect.
I wish I had a snapshot. I got to get a camera in the background.
We do.
They didn't tell me that part. All right,
so
thank you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it. So this company was started 39 years ago by my husband, Ron Perlman, and he went to the Reno wrecking yard to look for parts, and there happened to be a limousine, a Cadillac that had some a dent on the side, and he decided that, well, I think I can fix that. And I'm a car guy, so I just always wanted to have a limo for my personal use. And that's exactly what he did. And then the next thing he knew, people started calling him and said, well, we want to go to Reno, or we have a wedding, and can we rent this car? And he's like, well, I'm an automotive mechanic. I have never done this kind of business. But that is how the company started.
How it started.
Wow,
that's how
cool.
it got started.
I love that story. And then he just found his passion. Like I love to have him on in the future to say,
yes.
I'll ask both of you, like next time as well with Ron, what would you tell your younger self when you first got that limousine? Right. No, run, or absolutely the best thing you ever did?
You know what? It was.
What do you think he'd say?
I think he would say he would totally keep doing it, because it was starting something from scratch. And like what he will tell you is, being in the automotive business, people were always sad or angry or unhappy because they had to come to him to fix a car. So it wasn't a happy occasion.
Right.
Where in the limousine business, it's a happy occasion.
Yeah.
So, and then he got gratuity, he got tip money. He's like, that I've never had in my life. So this is fun.
This is all looking good.
This is all looking good. So yeah, so he will absolutely tell you that it was definitely a good business to get into.
And how many years ago did this start?
39.
39 years ago.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. That's great.
And I joined it 25 years ago.
Perfect. And actually, we just met for the first time. I don't know how long ago it was, but I feel like I've known you for years. And you came on as our newest partner at the National Automobile Museum. We're going to get into a little bit about that, because all the concert series and our events. And I think one of the craziest things, sorry, I got to do my little moment here, Mike. One of the craziest things, I just watched the news and I see people who know they're going out to have a good time by themselves or with a group of people. And in this world, you should always know, just get a driver, get a service that you can rely on. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Don't take a chance.
Absolutely. And you have a group of people, and we have from SUVs to Sprinter and transit vans to up to 36 passenger minibuses. So we can transport all all types of sizes of
It
groups.
just makes the experience
Yeah.
so much,
Oh.
fun. I was going to say funnerer. Not a word. So much fun.
It's a word now.
And it's such a big difference. So don't make the mistake. And I'm sorry, I'm going to jump in real quick because we have a summer concert series, and you guys are our partner. We'll have like 600 people there, and almost everybody goes, "Well, I'm going to leave my car here." I go, "No." Don't
Yes.
take a chance because I know
Yes.
some of them shouldn't be doing that. Get a bunch of people, make it a fun experience.
Oh,
Get something
absolutely.
to eat. Come to the concert. You
Yes.
have an event with us. Call up, go to our website. You guys give our members a discount.
Yes.
So there's so many different ways you should be taking advantage of it and that are very cost effective. Put a price tag on a DUI or
Yes.
something else or killing somebody.
Absolutely.
Sorry to get more,
Take-
but they just shouldn't be taking
Yeah.
chances.
And that I'm sorry to interrupt. That's what I'm teaching my son right now.
Yes.
Is I tell him, I go, the cost of a DUI, because he's 14. He's a couple years away from driving. The cost of a DUI will outweigh 10 limo rides or taxi rides or whatever it is.
Exactly.
And so you've got-
absolutely,
if
there
you
is
go to
no
the cost
reason.
analyst-
Yeah, definitely, there is no reason for people to be on the road when
No.
they shouldn't be. And it's a whole. I always say it's an experience.
Yes.
You know, we pick them up wherever they need to be picked up, different homes, and the party is on the road,
Yep.
and you have a great
And
experience.
you don't have to worry about it.
No.
I want to get into. I'm going to share part of my experience with you guys just about 2 months ago, which was off the charts. But I want to talk more about you guys. So you got the limousine and service as part of your business. Tell the people who are listening what sets you apart, because you can go on and see these different things, but there's a big difference. I've been to your location. I know the support and the infrastructure. But for people who are just listening, tell us a little bit more about why you guys are different.
What sets us apart is our commitment to professionalism, communication, and guest experience. We specialize in customized transportation solution for corporate groups, meetings, and events, airport transfers, weddings, VIP travel, and private transportation. Our team focuses on reliable service, clean and well-maintained vehicles, experienced chauffeurs, detailed logistics coordination to ensure that every ride runs smoothly. We care. We deeply care, and I'm very grateful that I have a team behind me that has that same value. They understand that at the end of the day, we're only as good as our last ride.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to just jump in here a little bit more than I normally do. Terry's reading it. Rules nice. You always jump in, Phil. Again, for people listening, I guarantee you, people listening, how many times have you got into something, you go, oh, my God, I don't feel safe in this car. Oh, my God, I need a tetanus shot after I get out of this car. Or I've had experiences down there, and I rented places in L.A., nothing to do with L.A., they didn't show up on time. It was so transactional that it drove me nuts.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm here in like 2 minutes. I'm going, my gosh, what am I going to do? I got 30 of my VIPs in the room. Well, I got to get out. It is so different. I had my first experience with you guys about 2 months ago. Rich Crombie, dear friend of ours, and I looked out the door. It was 20 minutes early. He looked like he was going to a prom. He was so dressed so professionally.
Oh, absolutely.
Water, hello, courteous, take the thing in. Early, late, ask that we can help. I mean, it was off the chart, and I know that that's the experience everyone's going to get.
Absolutely. It's so important. I always say we're the first point of contact in an event, and we're the last point of contact in an event. So we can make or break anybody's experience. And specifically airport transfers, people want to make sure they get to the airport on time. They don't want to worry. I always say, if you're not 10 minutes early, you're late, because it's peace of mind that we give our clients.
And that's a big part, peace of mind. You don't want a tetanus shot. You want to make sure that the person is picking you up at your house, is okay, and you want to make sure you're here on time. So let's get into the safety. So most people have a safety and reliability question.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Safety and reliability are at the core of our operation. Our vehicles are regularly inspected and maintained, and our chauffeurs are professionally trained. We do mountain evaluations. We do PAX training, platinum service, defensive driving training, annual chain inspections and training. They're all licensed and vetted. We do pre-employment drug and alcohol testing, plus we're part of a consortium that does random testing. We closely monitor flight schedules, traffic, and itinerary changes in real time to provide seamless service and dependable arrivals. Our dispatch and operations teams work together to proactively communicate updates and support both passengers and clients throughout the whole experience. We also do 45-day vehicle inspections. Every 45 days, it goes to a shop and it gets checked out.
The only thing you didn't have in that is you needed to drop a microphone. That was perfect because that sums it up because people
Right.
have in this world you need those things to be addressed. It's so important.
Absolutely.
So I'm imagining you do all kinds of events. So for
Yes.
people who are listening, what type of clients or events you typically serve?
Wide range of clientele, including corporate groups, meeting planners, hotels, destination management companies, wedding parties, VIP travelers, leisure guests visiting Reno and Lake Tahoe. Our service includes airport transportation, corporate events, conventions, weddings, nightlife transportation, group charters, as well as private transportation throughout Reno, Tahoe. But we have full licensing in California. We go to Sacramento, San Francisco, and even go as far as Los Angeles.
Cool.
You just mentioned a word, licensing. That's extremely important. You want to touch on that?
Very much so. Nevada has got very strict laws. You need to make sure that you have a carrier that is licensed by the Nevada Transportation Authority. So you have to have a CPCN license, and it's a lengthy process. That's a story for another day. I can tell you lots of stories about it, but yes,
And
licensing.
there's people out there, I'm assuming, don't have that. That was my point.
Yes.
They don't have it, and you should be aware because something doesn't happen the way you planned it, and you're going, oh, what are my options? Nothing. They're not licensed.
Yeah, the license, insurance, all of that stuff these days are specifically very, very important. So make sure a company is vetted. Definitely so.
So, I mean, there's so many different ways out there. When in opportunities, what do people look for? What kind of advice do you give them when they're deciding what they're going to do, who they're going to choose?
The customer should look for a transportation provider with a strong reputation for communication, reliability, safety, and professionalism. It's important to work with a company that is properly licensed and insured, has experienced chauffeurs, maintains a clean and modern fleet, and provides responsive customer support. Quality transportation provider should also have the operational experience to manage changes, group logistics, and high-level guest service without compromising reliability.
Yeah. Big. All those are big. So for people who are listening, how do they get connected with you? Because we're going to have some information. Well, it's on our website right now. It's on our Facebook page, automuseum.org. And again, if they're a member of the Automobile Museum and they call up and they say, hey, I'm a member,
Yes.
your team will trigger
they
it.
will
and they'll
definitely
get
take care of them.
They'll be taken care of. So,
Absolutely.
And I've already attested to it. The service has been amazing.
Thank you so much. They can contact us at 775-348-0868, or they go to the website, Reno Tahoe Limo, LIMO.com, and they can fill out the forms from there, and our dispatch team will be in contact with them.
And the website, I'm sure, has a lot of photos, but can you just give our listeners just a quick overview again of the type of automobiles that you have for them to choose from?
So from SUVs to Sprinter and Transit vans, and then my minibus fleet range from 23 to 36 passenger minibuses.
I've been to your location, and you have such a vast array of vehicles there.
Oh, and we do have a limo bus, a 22 passenger limo bus. I can't forget that.
What's your favorite? If someone says, "Hey, I have a special event,"
Yes.
throw out the amount of people you need, but
Right.
to say we want something really special for this event,
Yes.
what would you recommend?
Oh, the limo bus is super fun because it's perimeter seating. Everybody can see each other.
Yeah.
And, they can drink on the bus, and it's a lot of fun. We end up, it's like, we don't want to get out of the vehicle. We'll just stay in the vehicle, and we'll dance, and we have a great sound system.
Yeah.
So people take the party on the road for sure.
How many people can fit in that?
22 passengers.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, if I had more than one friend, I would be able to utilize that.
You've got me.
Two.
There you go.
Same number of our listeners. Two. All right. Now, thank you so much. For people who are listening again, the website is
Reno Tahoe Limo, LIMO.com. And our phone number is 775-348-0868, Reno Tahoe Limo and Transportation. And thank you for the opportunity to be here today. I really appreciate it. We're looking forward to the partnership with the museum.
It's great. We got your signs everywhere. And more importantly, I love you and Ron. You guys are great partners, and we're looking forward to a long future with you.
Absolutely.
I do. Before we go to commercial break, only because our last guest dropped the mic. So I asked them, if you didn't do this, what do you think you and Ron would be doing? Was it another career path that you guys think you might have gone down?
Oh, yes. I think there is still another career path. I want to lead trips around the world.
Yeah.
And
very
that's,
cool.
yeah, so the tourism industry has always been in my blood. I've been in it since I was 16 years old. And yeah, the tourism and travel, and maybe have a little bed and breakfast on the coast somewhere someday.
I
So,
love that.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we want to travel more for sure.
I want that, but I'm stuck to saying hello, welcome to Walmart. Is that paper or plastic? I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing.
Would you like fries with that?
Would like fries? Yeah. No, I'm extremely blessed. Thank you very much. Tell Ron we said thank you.
Absolutely.
And then actually, if you don't mind, I have. I think he committed. If you want to, the Alfa
Yes.
Romeo, he's going to make it a deal with me.
Oh,
right?
there you go.
So I get it on air. It must be true. Tell him I didn't forget. All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back, Reno. Don't forget this show is made possible by the National Automobile Museum. Where is it located? It's located
One Museum Drive.
Thank you very much, on the corner of Lake Street and Mill Street. If you've not been there, we encourage you to come by. We have a new exhibit every 60 days. I kind of gave a tease that we're going to have Fast and Furious cars from the movie coming up in a couple of months. There's a rumor there's some cars coming up from Disney. I'll let you guys guess what that is. We have the Mystery Machine there for a little longer. Plus, we have 60 horses carriages, some 20s and 30s. We have a beautiful movie theater. Jeramie, I was trying to give him that lead in. We have an amazing photographer and videographer in there. Him and Marcello are in the studio as well. We have a full production studio, a podcast studio.
I have a question about that. So if let's say I had an event to book at the museum, can I book Jeramie through the museum?
You can go directly to him or to us, but yes. He's a great partner.
great,
He's located in there. We highly recommend him. But yeah, you call us, we'll connect you with him. But all of his information is on his website.
I should have asked that when he was here, but
yeah, no, he's great. Appointment only, but he's got a great studio. And I can't say it enough. It sounds silly. People always go, I don't want to invest the money in this or that.
it's so important.
Yeah, I don't want to. How many people sit there and they got the crummiest pictures of their wedding or their 16th birthday or
Look,
ceremony?
I'm only going to
life?
have like 3 weddings in my life, so
Well, yeah, odds are you got to get at least one of those weddings captured correctly.
I'm on my third.
Third.
So let's not talk about that.
All right. Moving on. All right. So I want to remind everybody, in addition to that, our speaker series is coming up. We've had the governor there. We have a beautiful theater. But there's a couple of dates I'm going to wrap up with. So please get a pencil, get a piece of paper. June 20th, our outdoor concert. We have the Eagles tribute. July 11th, Jimmy Buffett tribute outside on the pavilion next to the Truckee River and the museum. We have August 29th, the Beatles tribute. September 19th, CCNR. And then one I'm just totally excited about because it's August 28th, and I want to take you back in time. We rented out the drive-in in Sparks. We have about 150 cars maximum. It's $40 per car. Cram as many people in there. For those of you who saw the movie Grease, remember that? Took you back in time?
Oh, yeah.
We have a band that's going to be playing out there before, food. We're going to show the movie Grease. It's going to be amazing. So I want to relive that with a flash mob that's going to do that whole closing number, I hope, at the end of it. But that is going to sell out quickly. The Eagles concert that's on June 20th, I'd say we probably got about 60 tickets left. So if you're interested, you can't beat it. It's $20 for a ticket. Get your lawn chair out, get close to the band, dance, or if you're a member, it's only $15. What a deal.
It's great. Like we were talking about this just before we popped the mics back on. I don't know why, but I love the drive-in. It's just something about it. I grew up in a drive-in, so it's like, it's just second nature to me.
But and it's fun, but we're going to add the whole Shana Na band type thing, music.
It's not just show up and watch a movie. There's lots of stuff going on.
We have activities. We got so much fun stuff there. We're inviting all the car clubs, but I guarantee you it will sell out. Yeah. It will sell out quickly, and if you want to be part of it, and all the proceeds go to the 501c3 National Automobile Museum to our educational programs.
Cool.
So check off that box as well. Until next week, everybody, have a safe drive. Make sure you please slow down on yellow lights.
Please
That's
do.
my pet peeve.
Yes.
Enjoy. Be safe. See you next week.
You've been listening to What Drives Reno, presented by the National Automobile Museum in downtown Reno. For more information about the museum, head on over to our website, automuseum.org. We'll be back next Saturday at 11 a.m. with What Drives Reno on 1060 a.m. KFOY, Radio for America.